everyone. It's that time of the year where you have to study for your midterms or your final exam, and you have to cram everything in to the last moment. So what is the first thing we're going to be talking about? We're going to be doing order of operations. Wow! Order of operations and our properties. Let's get right in. So let's say we've got 3 plus 5. Wow, such impressivity, right? And then we say equals 5 plus 3. Wow, such impressivity. We turned 3 plus 5 into 5 plus 3. Wow, truly blowed my mind. This is called the commutative property. Well, that is simple, right? The commutative property seems pretty simple. So why do we even need to know this? Ask the curriculum makers, because I didn't make curriculums. Just ask them why we need to know this. But anyways, that is the commutative property. Next, we've got the associative property. Associative property. This basically says that if we have, let's just say we have 5 plus, and then we have in parentheses 3 plus 7. We could also do equals parentheses 5 plus 3 plus 7. These people, they just really know how to mold my brain. All they're doing is changing the place of the parentheses in addition. Really, what is the point of this? Geometry? No, don't tell me this is geometry. This is simple math, and everyone knows it. So then, finally, we've got the distributive property. This one's actually important. Finally, distributive property. And let's say we've got 3 distributed 5 plus 7. Well, then what do? We distribute the 3 to the two numbers being added. So what do we get? We get 15 plus 21. And what do we get after we do 15 plus 21? 36. Wow. Truly impressive. Wow, we've truly done something new. So then, let me tell you this. Let's say we've got x, 10y, and then we've got equals 10y, and then we've got our x. What would be the difference between these two equations? And let me just change the place of the of the parentheses. So we changed the place of the parentheses to here. So would this be associative, commutative, or distributive? If you answered commutative, you're right. The only thing we're doing is changing the order of this. So, yeah. So we did those. So let's try this. Let's say we have a real problem. Let's say we have 7 minus 3 x plus 5 minus 8 squared. What's our squared button? This one. Squared. So what is the first step? Well, the first thing we do is we do anything inside of parentheses. If we can simplify. Can we simplify x plus 5? We cannot. So what would be our next step? Then we do the squared. So we get 7 minus 3 x plus 5, and then we've got 8 squared, which is plus 64. Because remember, when we do a negative times a negative, which is negative 8, well, negative 8 times negative 8 is 64. So what's the next step? Well, now we do our multiplication, because when we distribute, all we're doing is technically multiplying the numbers. So what do we get? We get 7 minus 3x plus 15 plus 64 plus 64. So we've done that. Now we do, and it's actually negative 3x minus 15. Wow, we had to pay attention. You see, if we don't pay attention, we fail. So then, what is 7 minus 15? Negative 8. Negative 8 plus 64. Let's use our handy calculator. We get 56. So we get negative 3x plus 56. And that would be the answer. We simplified the equation. Now let's try another one. Let's say we've got negative 2b, 3x plus 8, minus 7 cubed. Let's write it like that. Let's write it squared. So then, what is the first step? We solve anything in parentheses. Well, we can't simplify these parentheses because it's not like terms, because there's an x here and there's no x here. So then, what do we do first? We do the negative 7 squared, which is negative 2b, then we've got 3x plus 8, and then we've got minus 7 squared, which would be plus 49. So now we distribute the negative 2b and those. So we get negative 6b x minus 16b plus 49. And that would be our answer. As you can tell, that's our answer. So basically, that's just basic equations, normal equations. And we're actually going to translate these words to equations. So let's say we've got 5 times the difference of a number and 3. Well, then what would this be? 5 times the difference. So basically, when they say 5 times, we know it's 5. And then we know we can add parentheses because we're multiplying it times a full difference. What a full difference means is when we basically find the difference, and it's basically 5 times the difference. So, yeah, that was totally the best explanation. But anyways, we got 5. Let me make this thicker. So we get 5 times distributive property of the difference of, which is basically a number and 3, so it would be n minus 3, because let's think about it. Difference means subtraction, and we're multiplying this times any answer we get from the subtraction. And that's what that means. So if I say the product of a number and the product of a number and 4, the answer would be it be n4? Would it be 4 parentheses n? Would it be n parentheses 4? Or would it be 4n? Pick your poison. Well, in algebra, what we do is we have our leading number, and 4 is our leading number because it's not a variable. And then after that, we have a coefficient, and that's the letter. So it's a variable. This is the coefficient, and this is your variable. So basically, this would actually be 4n. Even if they say the number before the number, you still put your coefficient before your variable. So that's the lesson for today, and I hope you enjoyed it.